Audio Jungle.
We are live.
Good evening, everybody. It's a great pleasure in meeting you all once again for this session of career counseling. Well, moving ahead, we should thank IIU for this great opportunity for which they have been working with different institutions on different topics and training sessions and everything. As we all know, IIU is the leading virtual education system with the Global Brand Confederation, which is the most valuable and trusted worldwide and well reputed in delivering innovative programs. Globally, as we all know, it's the most trusted name for quality training programs, and it's committed for providing better and virtual education to all the young learners across the globe. In the short span of time, IIU has been spreading its wings in all the 195 countries, in all the 6 continents, under the strong leadership of our visionary founder, Mr. Piyush Pandit sir, a committed and inspiring social activist. For the last 2 decades, IIU has been providing education to students from various social and cultural backgrounds. As the name goes, it's the world's first international internship university, which is inspiring, inventing, and igniting young minds. So, as the name goes, we have been talking about career pathways, where if you actually remember our first session, we are talking about career counseling and building up profile building, etc., where we thought that with the focus on building up careers, this career talk will break all those tall barriers which has been a big hindrance in the mind of the people or misconceptions in the minds of the people. We are trying to clear all those doubts now. So as we know that career is by choice, but definitely not by chance. So we are here to remove all your confusions. So in this process of career pathway counseling, which is a guidance to the student profiling and candidature building, with the directives of the active and engaging opportunities from and the choice of all the career pathways, with the performance expectations and their benefits across according to the different domains of excellence and also the curricula, highlighting with the streams to dreams and thereby relating it to the skills which are required for the future and also for the current. Now we are summing it up with the value of the magic triangle contributing to the rationale of the career pathway. So on that note, please allow me to share my screen. So as I repeated, these are the topics that we were discussing. And I'm sorry, hope my screen is visible. I think it should be visible by now.
We can't see it. Not yet.
Yes.
Now.
Now.
It's loading now.
Yeah. Okay. So the career exploration process, as we are going in detail about the career exploration process, just 1 second. Let me just make myself very comfortable. So in this process that we have been talking about these things, which I mentioned just now, that we started with candidature building, guidance for candidature building and student profiling, with the directives of the active and engaging opportunities from the choice of the career pathways which are already existing according to the market trends and also the demands of the society. Thereby, we relate it to the performance expectations and their benefits according to the different domains of excellence in different curricula as well. Like talking about different topics and different subject-wise, we address all the issues and what are career pathways that one can choose when they're going to choose that particular stream. On that note, we related the streams which they're going to choose as in the terms of higher study or in the course of study, how they can relate it to their dreams. When they do that, what are the skills that are required to make them more competent enough in facing the future world. If it's 4.0 or the 5.0, doesn't matter. You need the skills to equip yourself. So now today we are going to sum it up with the value of the magic triangle contributing to the rational the career pathway session. So moving ahead from here. So let's analyze the situation, the existing situation. Over 80% of the students are often changing their major in the course of study while in the college or sometimes even schools. And most of them are changing more than 2 to 3 times. Why is this happening? Because they are losing interest in the course of study. They find that as the new evolution is coming up, as the market trend is coming up, they find new things coming up and the new interests are being developed, a new demand is being raised. So in that note, they are not able to decide exactly what are their interests, how their interests is related to their passion and their personality. So that is why they are changing. Sometimes they choose a career that is practical, but maybe for just paying bills, but as a passion, they're not into it. And no one, why is this? How to bridge this gap? And what is actually missing in this connection is that no one, or even the counselor, or the school, or the management, or even the parent, or even the student themselves has not asked the right questions during the time of taking admissions as an intake process. That's how I said this golden triangle, which has to meet the vertices of student, parent, and the teacher or the school, or otherwise the student, home, and the school. These vertices of the triangle should meet to make the complete golden triangle that will really help the student in a big way. The student must listen to the outside influences of what the career they should go or go into. So typically, the outside influences used or normally TV or otherwise any media we can take, but media is just a media. It's a real life, but it is not a real life. So you can't take the whole of it. You may take just the 20% of it. Okay. Second, in the sense, the second factor could be your friends. They will know that what's on school, but unless and otherwise, they are proactively used their career. So you can't take the whole advice of the friends who are there in the schools or the alumni or whatever. They may be knowledgeable, but how is it going to help your situation? It really matters. Then life interactions. I mean, the adults or the elders, they use the services. They could be in their field, maybe a dentist or pharmacist or the medicine person or otherwise the teachers, etc., etc., etc. But do you really know they like their job? Or they're just saying that, okay, do this, this will really fit you well. So in that knows, what is the greatest sources? Your parent, who will be more empathetic about your career, who will put themselves in your situation and will be able to guide you with your possibilities. So with all these inferences, with all these influences, which is the majorest influence that can really direct you or guide you through is your parent and your teacher. So that's what we are going to see. So in that case, what are the major 5 points one should consider when talking about career guidance, whether it is parenting or otherwise counseling from the school point of view? That is, basically, one should be able to clearly guide on the career path, career milestone, and career destination. All the three are different. The path will lead you there, and one such a milestone will happen in your career such that it will make a big career for you, thinking that, yes, I am there, but that's not your destination. Your destiny, it's just a journey. Your destination will be somewhere. It will lead you and it in the course of the process. So you should be able to, you should not get carried away saying that, okay, I'm going to settle in this career. Never. It's always a journey. It's never a destination, and it's an ongoing process. One should be able to differentiate these three very clearly as such, and they will be able to achieve it. So differentiation means with a genuine interest or just an infatuation or ability. Say, for example, now in that, if you go in detail, if I want to become an athlete, every day running or, like taking the ramps and the tracks and every day running and going for the course, going for the training doesn't make you an athlete, doesn't take you for the Olympic. If Olympic is your destination, if league is your career path, career milestone, your career path is just the track training. So you can't take that your track training as the destination or otherwise the league that you're going to represent. So one should be able to make a very key genuine interest and will be able to, you should be able to differentiate between an infatuation and the ability. So to reach your destination, you should be competent enough and you should make yourself competent enough in the process of evolution. So don't be a part of the herd or the base of the trends. Just go with the flow as such and keep on evolving as the process goes. Adapt yourself. Don't you're here, say there'll be too many inputs from everywhere, but the decision is always yours. So how does the academic performance defines a career is also a myth. Say, always there is a thread that your marks and your scores and your, all those applauds and everything that you get in your school friend for the academic performances, that will design your career. No, it will not. It will not. There's always something within you, inside you, that you only will know and you have to bring it out. So on that note, self-awareness is the key. So these are the 5 points which one should really work or keep at the back of the mind while deciding a career or planning for your career. So in that case, there are major 7 C's of career guidance, which the teacher and the parent and the student, they should work together, knowing about the student himself or herself very well. So the first thing is the self-exploration, basically. Okay. And then analyzing them with the empathetic point of it, like I am this. So if I want to become that, so what should I do? So that's what is the thing. There is always a changing trend in the market, in the nature, the importance of learning skills. There is always an adaptable process which is going on. The adaptable process could be either critical thinking, that's a skill that you need to imbibe. Creativity, maybe that's a skill that you need to go, or otherwise, if you're good in these two, collaboration may be one of the skills that you need to imbibe, or otherwise, cross-cultural understanding, communication, computer literacy, and career learning as a self-reliance. These are the 7 C's which everyone should always look at. I am this, I need to be that. If I am this, what am I supposed to do? And what are the other things that I need to work on? If one is very clear about these 7 C's, then the career guidance process is very easy. So in that process, what is the actual role of the parents in the career choice? In terms of career choice, first thing, as a parent, we should support the child's decision, because anybody who's not going to put their heart in it is not going to work on it, believe me. So in that case, go with the child's heart, support the decision, whatever, come what may. If it's a changing a process, let him change. Even we are not wearing the same dress every day. If he is keeping on changing all the processes every day, so we need to go by it and we need to abide by it. So in that case, support your child's decision. Give your child the freedom of thinking and to discover himself or herself. Also, provide motivation to develop and achieve, provide encouragement to pursue the interests and ambitions. Go with the flow, be with them and be along with them, but guiding them from do's and don'ts and always advising them in the right path. And in that case, what is the role of the teachers in the career digest? Teachers act as a vital source of information for students to explore every single career option which they come up. Today, the child may come and say, I want to become a doctor. Tomorrow, the child may come and say, no, I want to become a biochemist. The third day, he might come up with some other thing, say, for example. So in that case, the teacher should be very open and listen to the child very clear, because a child is confiding in you, having the trust that you will pay a hearing for the child. So that's very, very important. In that note, if you have won the trust of the child, please maintain it and have a very clear, patient hearing and guide the child process properly with the do and if you do this, this will happen. If you don't do this, this will happen. Evidence it, evaluate it, validate whatever that you're saying so that you will be able to convince the child very clearly and offer insights to various professionals, education pathways, and skills that are required for the various careers. In that, now comes the actual pyramid that we are talking about, the global golden triangle. What are the 5 stages of career counseling for the golden pyramid? Is that Chris Magnuson has already developed this with the 5 career helping process. First is that initiation. Second is that exploration. Third is the decision making. Fourth, after making the decision, preparation and then implementation. So this is initiation is just a thought process. Exploration is finding the avenues. Decision making is, yes, you are finding the right direction and you're moving ahead in that, how to prepare yourself and finally how to implement it. So when you come to the initiation as a process of meeting, you will be able to have a very shared space. As I told you, it's a very shared space where both the insights are taken into consideration, involving a very empathetic relationship. You have to put yourself in the student's shoes, and which refers to the first meeting with the client. If you are going to shut down this, the student will never open to you. So keep the conversations growing, develop a rapport, develop a trust in the child such that the child, come what way, the child will come to you. So if you're developing this rapport, a strong relationship as a working alliance, and this will really help in engaging an effective process and which will be a vital component of the initiation process in ensuring that the child understands the benefits of the process and will help them to move forward. Exploration. Second, when you take the process of initiation deeper with the providing a greater insight, the process of with the R&D, basically the research and development with the market, global trends, market trends, and everything as such with the process of exploring, with the analyzing with the SWOT analysis, means my strengths and weaknesses with the threats and changing them into opportunities. So it's a process of exploration with the strengths, talent, interests, values, and beliefs. It also creates a creative process where we help the individuals explore the world full of opportunities that are available. So from here, if individual can explore the potential career opportunities which are available to them in the world. So third is decision making is a vital process of the overall process. So this cannot be a bias. It should be very fair enough such that if something is missing, then we need to equip ourselves. It's basically on the openness, acceptance, or accept as we are and accept to move. If it's a very hard way, well, let me move the path. Let move the same path in the same direction, but still I want to be there. So this decision-making process is the core in the whole overall process. That means an openness to unlearn and relearn also takes place here, such that otherwise it's just, if it is not there, as counselors, as guidance experts, or whatever thing that you call, we need to really work on it. So the whole process, the essence of decision-making process. The CDP is facilitating, that is the training program is facilitating an approach to help the students who they are and what opportunities which are available, gathering information, establishing criteria and setting up goals that we are implementing action plans. So in everything we do, there is an encounter and the client means the student is always involved in the career decision-making process. Fourth is a preparation, is a process that allows the individuals to prepare themselves to be ready, but the skills they need to move forward with the choices. So the examples of the preparation could work on such skills such as developing a resume or a LinkedIn profile, etc., etc. It could be, or even a blog page. It could involve interview preparation skills. It could include anything and everything with accessing transportation or child care preparation, everything that takes into consideration. So fifth is the implementation process, where we all take the outcomes of the process and act on them. The key is supporting the system to help the individuals advance in the careers, identify the supports to which community they come from, or the community network that will allow them to move forward. There is also a transition place where the individual may end up in the relationship with the CDP while they're embedded with the career development process with their communities. Intentionality. In conclusion, each of these processes is necessary to help and facilitate the career transition. And these processes are not linear sequences. They are more about intentionality of your work. When I work with Haven, we cycle back forth through these processes. Overall, this approach will help the CDP to focus on the conversation with the students and enhance their career opportunities. So, in this, what is career exploration? We need to know it. Don't go to college with that. There are 3 stages of career exploration. Determine your interests first, discover the career, and plan your goals accordingly. When you determine your interests, know about yourself, the basic ways of career decision making, with the interest, skills, and values, and what is important to you about your work and your personal traits and characteristics. Ask yourself. It's a SWOT analysis. What do I like to do? What I value the most? And what motivates me? What keeps the interest in me? What retains the interest in me? And what helps up with my curiosity? And what skills do I possess? And which were the new ones should I develop? So discover the career, learn about the career, the types of careers and jobs and education requirements and job functions. And more importantly, understanding the career that fits your interests and goals. And you may ask yourself, what are the examples of the careers in the chosen field or the field of interest? And what are the job titles that will interest me? What the type of work environments do I like? And as I go into the research, as my chosen career, the field of interest. Stage 3 is plan your goals. Talk what you are learned about yourself and piece it together with the reality of the world of work. Write it down. Just write it down. What are you and what you want to become? So begin to evaluate the career options that are practical for you. Day by day, if you just make the note-making process very clearly, it is easy for you to go back and check whether I have achieved this. Yes, I have achieved this. Now I should move ahead. So you can sequentially, you can just make it as a sequel, and you will be able to direct yourself in the right path, in the right direction. So use decision making and action planning skills to identify the successful career and the life plans. So the important questions which will include, do I have the resources to pursue this option? And what challenges might be presented to me during the education pursuit in the job market? What else do I need to know to identify my career objectives? Do I need to conduct a self-assessment or a career research to make my career decision making and easygoing? So in that case, if you have done all these 3 stages, why is this career exploration important? Is that it helps you with the benefits of career planning. While in college, it has a very clear short-term and long-term goals. Few transfers or switching of major gradually with the time, and you will be able to graduate on time. You'll be more motivated, goal focused with higher academic achievement. So after graduation, it will have a better job entry with a higher income, more satisfied with the chosen career field, less career change or the fastest career advancement. So the consequences are not planning or very costly as such. With the absence of career planning, there are always a major cause for switching majors, feeling being trapped in a major, college transfer, dropout, extended years in school, or maybe even running out of the financial aid. So what's the answer for this? If that's the threat, what's the solution? Main thing is the kind of questions you need to ask yourself to determine whether you need an assistance in deciding a major. Ask open-ended questions. So what are the different kinds of questions that you need to ask, and what is the thing that you need to go with the process as such is the first thing, how you can do it with the brain mapping. The brain mapping is a person interaction process with the counselor and not with the multiple choice question or the test paper. So in the brain mapping process, the aptitude of the child is assessed looking at the comfort level with the natural bent towards the different subjects, and the child is exposed to the previous years of his or her academic and non-academic exposure. Following this is in the same is a personal interaction with the interest of the child is accessed by gauging his top of his mind, recall his leisure time spent and desired. Lastly, the counselor can talk to the parent to understand the interest of the child or his or own surroundings or even the peer group or the social impact. So that is why the brain mapping is a first prerequisite that you need to do. It's kind of, in simple words, it's a diagnostic test. Without this, don't ever talk about your career. This is the first key thing, that is the basic requisite for developing your profile or your candidature, knowing that yes, this is me. Know thy neighbor. That's the first process. Then, why is the brain mapping most effective tool in career counseling? Is that there are different methods which are effectively used in this process. So, since the process is more personal and personal interaction based, each response of the child can be assessed carefully. You have to understand this more kind of a aptitude test. So in that case, the child's other skills may get exposed, and also the interest which might come as a surprise to the teacher and the parent also will be revealed. So can be assessed carefully, which is a response to the discounted and enhanced can be taken into consideration by the counselor, which is impossible when you do the MCQ written test. An open option of deep probing is also available, and if any of this response, the counselor feels some disconnect, this is impossible in the MCQ written test. And so only the second round it can be done. So if that's so, the counselor will be able to figure out immediately the discrepancy, which is extremely difficult. So in that case, the counselor can remove any kind of ambiguity in the response if found at any point of time during the interaction. So this is impossible at the MCQ written test in the first round. So only in the second round it will be eliminated. And if the counselor is able to figure out the discrepancy, which is actually going to be extremely difficult. So if this is done, then refer to the career planning process, your aptitudes, your interests, and your work values as a career sweet spot. So this Venn diagram very clearly shows that your aptitude, what you are up to, your interest, and your work values. When it is done, the whole symmetry, when it goes here with the interaction at the intersection of all these things, is a career sweet spot. So when you do that, how we can achieve this? As we have seen before, the 4-quarter spiral method helps you, gives a very clear structured approach of the career decision making. It divides the decision process into the 4 essential quadrants as a learning quotient, intelligence quotient, emotion quotient, and your passion quotient, and ensuring the 360-degree of evaluation. And it is not a single process. In all these processes, the magic triangle of the parent, teacher, the counselor, the child is always being met with. Make sure that the vertices are always met, and it's a close triangle where the child is able to express himself freely. So by aligning the personal strength with the real world prospects, this method eliminates confusion, guiding students to move forward with informed career choices. So designed with decades of expertise, it simplifies the career planning, offers clarity and confidence in selecting the right path. So this proven strategy empowers the individuals to make the well-balanced career-proof decisions. So career planning with the personality, interest, and values assessment. Knowing yourself at the set of stage or for choosing the careers are right for you, and it makes you sense to choose the career that fits your personality, values, and interest and skills. That is what is called as a self-awareness. So there are many personality and interest assessments with type of focus, MBTI, that is Myers, Briggs, and type indicators, SDGs, SDS, that is self-directed search. Then my next move, ONET, interest profiler, career strength test, or strength quest, or Holland's personality, anything that you take. In that, Holland's personality is most reliable because it analyzes 6 different personality types, that is realistic, investigative, artistic, social, enterprising, conventional. You have to analyze and you should come to a conclusion which personality type suits you. That means, what do I really mean is, there are 6 different personality types. In that, in our culture, most people are stronger in one personality type than another. All preference may require some degree of all personality types, and people work in professional environment that fits their personality that tend to be satisfied and successful. So in that case, theory of John Holland is always guiding with all this in terms of any kind of assistance that is required from psychological point of view, that he has believed and he has made the personality very clearly, how you can reveal your own personality, how you can identify your own personality. So you can take the help of with these references. And in the sense, you will be able to give a summary of RAS, whether I'm RAS, RCE, RIC, RCI. That's why the codes are given here. So whichever is suitable for you, whichever you are able to confine, you are able to analyze it with the brain mapping, with the investigation process, you will be able to have your code. With this, you will be able to relate it to you by choosing a major. Exactly the codes are related to the Holland's personality or related to the college majors. So once you know your personality codes, you will be able to relate it to the college majors that you can take according to the different subjects. So definitely, if you're stuck with career finalizing process, or you're not able to give your clarity, just you can always take a reference of Holland's personality test, such that you will be able to find your majors that suits you much easier. So you and your personality type and a career and a major are compatible. You will have to really match this, which will lead to a great success and satisfaction. People who choose the career or the major that matches, that sync should will be similar to the personality or interest type, or more likely to be successful and satisfied. In fact, the Holland's personality types and the strong predictors of the major students choose the impact of the choice last far beyond the student learning and success in colleges. That means in terms of job stability, or even salaries, earned job satisfaction, or any other career opportunities that they can think about. So this has helped the students in a major way by earning higher grades, persistent in their choice of major, graduating on time, being more satisfied and successful in the career. So the college majors and the personality are really integrated and interrelated. So the key to find the career to match the fundamental interest, the personality type question. The social person will go crazy sitting alone in office all day. An artistic person would be probably hating to conform on a set of strict rules or a job. That is why career and the vocational test can be really helpful. So the assessments, if you want to take the help of Holland's personality test, which will help you in a major way. So that's how the students can be helped to take charge of their own life, take the responsibility of the learning, such that students are responsible for making the education, the career decisions, making the career in controlling the destiny. So their career will affect their future style or the fulfillment as well, where how they live, their financial stability and security for the leisure time activities, etc., etc., etc. That is how the career exploration helps each student to reach their potential by seeking the career guidance. They need to start the career path and lead into a rewarding future. So with that, successfully we have come to the end of our session as such, and it has been a pleasure working with you all for all this. Though we started as a 6-week episode, we have taken it for nearly 8 weeks now. Hope everybody has benefited by it. And if you have got any queries, anything to be clarified, always you can write to me, and I'll be always happy to support you. And if at all you need a career counseling as a process, then also you can approach me. For that, I will be able to guide you through and through. So on that note, I would like to thank IIU for giving this great opportunity, for uniting us on this platform to get to know better, and such that if you're stuck with any way, that we will be always able to guide you through. So let me extend my thanks to Dr. Virginia, who have been very supportive every week after week, and she has been really helping us through and through in this process, and the platform of IIU for bringing us together. Thank you so much. Until we meet again, it's bye from Srividhya. Thank you.